Hi Leo, happy birthday and welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your August 2021 love reading. Thanks to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge in the gap spread. And the way it works is a look at the past energies, present energies, and future energies between you and your main love interest. And then once we get through all that, we'll actually pull some oracle cards for some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, and on the right side we have the Tarot Sexual Magic. And also keep in mind I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's, but if you feel like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have Greece. So this is actually the equivalent of the star card in traditional tarot, which is the major arcana card for Aquarius. So it could just be saying that you might have saw a potential for a serious connection with this person, and it could just be saying that you might have even pulled them out of a rough situation, given the artwork that we see there. So, maybe they were going through a bad breakup or something along those lines, or just something going on in their lives, and you might have actually came in to help with the healing process there. All right, past energy on their side, we have the Fool. So a couple different things could be going on here. For one, I see that couple in the background there. So it could just be saying that for some of you, they might have actually left a third party scenario behind. And, maybe that's where you came into play there because they were going through the healing process of that. But for others of you, could just be saying that they might have had a very non-committal vibe to them as well. And for whatever reason, you were still drawn to them. So it could be one of those things too. And the reason why I mention that is because if you look at them, they're walking away from the cards on your side. So could be either of those things. All right, present energy on your side, we got a few cards. We have Power, which is the equivalent to the Emperor, which is Aries energy. Nine of Staves, which is Sag energy, and the Five of Coins, which is Taurus energy. So the way I'm seeing these things playing out, could just be saying, again, like I said, I feel like you guys really saw potential within the connection in the past. So with the Power here, I feel like this is saying you actually perceive this as, hey, we could be a power couple, right? But I feel like this is pointing more to their energy, which is to say that if you, try to move in that direction, you might find that they still have their guards up, and ultimately you might feel like you get left out in the cold in that situation. It could just be a minor blip on the radar timeline-wise, because seeing this makes me think of the fact that the Leo new moon this month is going to, well, in August, I'm recording this in July, but in August, the Leo new moon is actually going to have a square to Uranus. So it's going to be a pretty intense energy there. So that might be the wrong time to bring this topic up, I would say, if you haven't discussed it with them yet. So it might just be a minor thing. We'll see. All right. And present energy on their side, we have the Wheel, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and Eight of Pentacles, which is Virgo energy. So yeah, I mean, that's the more I'm looking at this is kind of how I'm seeing it, where this person just might be giving off a non-committal vibe. So I feel like, you see the potential in this person and you have the desire to move things toward that direction with them. But here, just seeing those three people makes me think of someone exploring their options. And if we look at the artwork with the Eight of Pentacles, looks like the guy's extending that rose to her, but she's not even paying it any mind, right? So I feel like if we just look at that as like a simple gesture of love, could just be saying that, they're not really in the headspace yet for any kind of commitment. So it could definitely be a disconnect between the two of you in that regard. All right. Future energy on your side, we have the Seven of Arrows. So this is Aquarius energy here again. And then if we think about Seven of Swords or Seven of Arrows in this deck, in traditional tarot, the person looks like they have like this sly look on their face, like they're getting away with something, right? But what always stands out to me with this deck here is how different, like, her facial expression looks. She doesn't look happy at all, right? Even though she's carrying those five swords away, and this other person's the one who seems completely oblivious and unaware of what's going on, right? They might be asleep. So, different energy here to where I feel like those two arrows to me could represent that desire for the one-to-one connection, right? The desire for a relationship. But I feel like deep down you might feel like you're losing hope in that happening, right? So you could just still be engaging with them. Maybe you're doing the friends with benefits thing because they're telling you they're not ready for a commitment, right? And I feel like if that's the case, there's disappointment behind that, but you might still be engaging in it. Um, Timeline wise, too, this could be pointing to the second full moon we're going to have in Aquarius toward the very end of your season. So that's what I see there. And future energy on their side, we have the Emperor, which is Aries energy, Ten of Pentacles, which is Virgo energy, and the Queen of Chalices, which is Cancer energy. So, likewise here, if we're talking about a timeline thing, it could just be saying that as of right now, they're still kind of dug in, right? I mean, again, we see the back turn to the cards on your side, and the Emperor can be a bit of a stubborn energy at times. But interestingly enough, what stands out to me is right beneath that, we see the Ten of Pentacles, which is an energy of commitment, stability, longevity. And then the Queen of Chalices energy, too, is also, pretty open, loving energy. It's a court card energy for Cancer. So, seeing those two things, it could just be saying that there's the push pull on their part, especially with the Ten of Pentacles wedged between the two, which could just be saying that they're a bit stubborn and still probably because they have some wounding from that previous connection, but deep down they might want that commitment as well, So there is that nurturing, loving side to them, but they just might not be comfortable bringing that back out yet. And I think you guys might have had similar readings to this in the past. I think it's been a while since I've seen one like this for you guys, but I think you had one in the past where you had like people that really guarded, right? But although I will say in the past, I feel like it was more of like a high maintenance thing here. And in this particular case, I feel like it's more that this person's just guarded and still not over a previous situation. All right. And bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Princess of Cups. So this is the equivalent to the Page of Cups, and here we see now her back is turned, right? So it's like the desire is still there, but I feel like you're losing a little bit of hope toward the connection and wondering, maybe starting to doubt if it could ever become something more stable. And then the bottom of the deck on their side, they have the Three of Swords. So yeah, to me it says that this is pointing to what I was feeling from them in the past, that they're still not over a previous situation, especially when we put that back in the spread, the Emperor is looking right toward that. So, especially if you guys are dealing with an Aries, that could be the case because they had a similar theme going on in their reading. So, you might want to check their reading out if you are dealing with an Aries. But yeah, Three of Swords to me, especially like I said, given that they're looking at it, I feel like they're not really healed from it. And that could be what that Fool energy is representing too. Even if they did express openness toward moving toward a connection with you, I feel like they weren't really ready. It might have just been jumping into something a bit too fast. And interestingly enough, beneath that we have the Tower too. So yeah, these two together, I feel like this is definitely saying that they're still processing something from their past. Now, obviously, they could be more open with you about that, right? And then, actually, interestingly enough, beneath that, we do see the Court card for Leo energy. So yeah, like I said, I mean that's really what I'm picking up from this. It feels like someone who wasn't really ready in the past, and maybe they even did make an attempt, but I feel like they're still working through that deep down. And I do feel like there is like a genuine desire there underneath it all for them to move toward a connection with you, but it doesn't look like they're not. It doesn't look like they're ready for that yet. So basically, a long way of saying that it looks like it would require patience to, see if they can come around, but it might take a while. So we'll see what the Oracle cards add to the mix, though. First, we'll see if we get anything from Aqua Moonlight deck here. I did pre-shuffle this deck, and I'm just looking for jumpers. So first, I'll be looking for unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. If I shuffle for a while without anything coming up, I'll just move on to the next deck. But occasionally, we get additional messages here. So let's see if we get anything. All right, this one doesn't want to go back in. And next, we'll see if we can get any from them to you. Almost that one there. Okay, got one. All right, so let's see what we got on your side first. Okay, we have mistake. It says I made the wrong turn, and honestly, the grass wasn't greener over there. Interesting. So this is an element I didn't really factor in, so it's probably not going to be the case for the majority of you because I wasn't really picking up on it. But I will say for some of you, this could represent that you guys were actually the ones who caused this situation with them in the past. I thought that this was possibly a whole other connection they were in, but I could just be saying that you guys might have been the one who caused the issue in the past in that regard, just based off of this message. And then this could represent you guys coming back. And then I guess in a way that would at least explain why they're so reluctant to move toward you, right? So again, I don't feel like that's going to be the case for the majority of you, but I'm guessing this came up for a reason. So for some of you, this can represent that it was you guys who actually caused that separation in the past, and that wasn't them leaving a connection with another person. All right. And on their side, we have forbidden. It says, even though we shouldn't, I still want you. Interesting. So both of these cards together make me feel like, okay, this is weird. So it looks like some of you might have been in a connection in the past, and they were the third party. And it could just be one of those things where if that's the case, you might still be coming toward them, and the desire might be there, but I don't know. They might feel like, yeah, they don't really want to get involved in that. So that's definitely an interesting dynamic. Like I said, given that I really wasn't picking up on something like that at all in this reading, I don't think that's going to be the case for most of you, but I can definitely see for some of you how that would fit in with the cards we see there, especially with the Seven of Arrows in the future. So obviously, you guys don't know if that's your situation, and if that is, hopefully those resonated with you. All right. And lastly, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Same situation as far as I pre-shuffled this one as well, but here we're just looking for one card, and we'll wrap up. Okay, there we go. You guys got breathed. There's the artwork, and the number is 29. So yeah, this to me definitely feels like it would resonate more with the storyline I was feeling, or like I said, you might just have to be patient with this person. They might still be healing from a previous situation, but we'll see what it says. All right, it says patience, waiting, going slowly, wellness, meditation, trust. The Oracle's message: patience in all things is called for right now. What do you need to do when you're in a rush? Slow down, of course. Meditate and trust. Breathe and repeat. Humans cannot exist without drawing breath. Now is the time to allow the life-giving element of air to replenish your body, your being, and your very essence. Stop to smell the roses, breathe in the sunlight, and release the darkness, and miracles will appear. So yeah, like I said, this definitely seems to point to, like I said, having a little bit of patience, and that's definitely what I feel there, because like I said, really, obviously the Oracle cards on that other deck are telling a different story, but the primary story I was picking up on going through the main spread was that it does seem like they are genuine, but they're just not ready yet. So, like I said, it just might require patience. The relationship message says, don't be in too much of a hurry right now. The heart needs time to open. Take a breath and let nature take its course. Release constriction and anxiety, for there is no need for tension. Savor the moment, and the waiting won't prove difficult. Your heart knows what the ego often resists learning. Patience pays off in deep and meaningful ways. So, yeah, again, pretty much reiterating the same message there. Hopefully that resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there. And once again, happy birthday, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.